Only I, Swindler Regal, has the right to be your master. I, and I alone. Who can hold a candle to me?
Welcome to Gaming for Grandparents, the channel that tries to help grandparents stay mentally active. So this is Royal Envoy, Campaign for the Crown. It is a time management game. So in each level we have to perform certain tasks. So let's get started.
Life goes on as usual in the kingdom. The wise king rules over the happy people. But then, one day... Attention! Breaking news on an amazing story! We have just received reports that someone wearing a black cloak broke into the royal palace. The stranger was fearful and grim and challenged the king's right to the throne. He accused the king of being unable to manage the kingdom and demanded to be elected king himself. Unfortunately, the meeting was held behind closed doors, so...
Only I, Swindler Regal, has the right to be your master. I, and I alone. Who can hold a candle to me?
I found only one mention of the election in our records. It is a strange little book, The Constitution for Dummies, which explains that the person who wins the election is entitled to rule the nation. We cannot allow this pretender to seize the throne.
Then we must find someone bold and decisive.
Yes!
Wise and noble.
Yes!
You shall defend truth and justice and help me win the election. Oh, and take Cedric along. It seems he knows something about this election business.
Hear ye, residents of the kingdom! Soon elections will be held to decide who shall be king. The king or swindler? The choice is yours!
It looks like he should be talking, but there's no audio. So I'm going to read this on a couple of levels and then I stop reading them. I'm certain that everybody loves the king, but we still need to run a campaign. Let's take a look at the nearest town and see how His Majesty's subjects are doing there. So we have to build houses and collect rent. More envoys from the king? Stay away, we're not giving you any more money. Calm down. Yes, we are the envoys of the king. What's the matter? An envoy from the king was here only yesterday. He collected a huge tax and ordered all of the homes to be demolished. The king cannot issue such an order. We'll help you get everything put back together now, and then we'll figure out what happened. So right there on the bottom as well as at the top, it says what our tasks are. We have to build 5 cabins, and it's just a case of selecting the boxes there and then picking the houses or the spaces that are empty to build houses in. Once they are built, they will start generating money. I think it's every 20 seconds. So we have to build the 5 houses and then we also have to collect the $1,000 in gold. At the top we see the money, then we see how much wood we have, we see how much food we have, and we see how many workers we have. As we progress in the game, the houses get bigger, it takes more to build them, but they also pay out more in rent. So if I upgrade any of these, I've gone from $100 to $150. Something strange is going on. Let's take a look at the political map of the kingdom. All the states are pink, which means that the people support the crown. I knew it. I knew the people love His Majesty.
The royal envoy, Cedrigio, has just communicated His Majesty's order to raise all buildings on Palm Coast.
Thy royal decree tears them down. In the name of the crown, demolish everything. Get rid of that.
This is Royal News reporting live. Don't change the channel.
Well, he does remind me of someone. My goodness, it's the swindler, playing mean tricks on behalf of the king. Everybody at Palm Coast is against His Majesty. It's horrible. Terrible. Echo Pearl, we've got to help these people quickly and restore their faith in the king.
Not a moment's rest.
So this time, I don't have any wood resources, so I'm going to have to cut the trees down myself. But I also only have to have one worker, so I have to use my food component to get extra workers.
Back to work? Ah, yes.
So the left side of our screen, we have this vertical gold bar that's running up and down. It is actually the timer. So if we get this finished before it hits that first line, then we'll get 3 stars showing that we got it in the best time. If it's below that first line, then it's going to be 2 stars, and if it's below the second line, it's going to be 1 star. I wasn't paying attention to the taskbar, and I didn't realize until later in this round that I needed to get additional workers.
You bet. Ready and able. Piece of cake. Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
So this is when I realized I needed additional workers, and I got my last 2 workers.
Let's work.
What's funny is I didn't have to fill in all the spaces with houses. And I'm always thinking I have to do that because those are empty, so I have to do that. But I didn't have to in this level.
You bet. Certainly.
Once I collected the money with the other houses, I was done with the level. Alright, so we cleaned up that area, and now we've moved on to this next region. And this one we'll have to build a sawmill. But right now we have money, but we don't have wood or food. So I've sent the workers out to pluck these apples or tomatoes off of these little bushes here. And once they get done with that, I'm clicking on this first space. I clicked on the building spot, meaning building a building, not a house. And so now they're building the sawmill, and it takes 2 of them to build the sawmill. But then once it's built, it only takes 1 of them. So the maximum amount of wood that I could have him mill at this point is 100 because of money. It costs money. But instead of building a house, I'm going to go ahead and
More work?
build the bridge so I have more spaces for houses. But I'm also sending this guy back over to the sawmill so that I can
Wasn't so
build more
hard.
houses. Because building the houses is going to give me the money that I need, and I'm going to have to upgrade these cabins, so that means I'm going to need even more wood. But the good news is, once I built the bridge
Everything
here,
is ready.
I can start cutting down these trees over here, and that's going to help me with my lumber situation.
More work? Piece of cake. Back to work? Ah, yes.
So since I have plenty of
Certainly.
wood, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these houses here, but I'm also going to repair the bridges.
I'd live there.
And I'm going to buy more lumber at the sawmill.
Ah, yes. Looking good. Ah, yes.
And then my final task is I have to pluck all of
Back to
these
work?
bushes. So I've got to get all of these bushes and a 5th house built.
Not a moment's rest. No problem. Right
I
away.
decide to hire more workers to help with getting all these bushes plucked, because I still have the
Aye.
3 on that side, but I have 3 more over on this other side.
Ready and able. Aye.
And to keep from ruining the storyline and spoiling that for you, I'm going to end after this level and give you the opportunity to play this game yourself and see the adventure for yourself. So this is Royal Envoy. This is specifically the one campaign for the crown. They do have other versions with other storylines. It is a time management game, but that's only if you want the 3 stars. You don't have to go that fast. There are about 40 levels to this game, and they do get a little bit harder with each level. But you also get to build different buildings. Like you'll get to build, I don't know, there's like 6 or 7 different types of houses. You'll get to build a bank, a market, fountains, and decorations. This is another mouse-oriented game, and when you're collecting the wood or the food or the money, you don't even have to click on anything, you just move your mouse over that. The only time you're clicking is when you're building, selecting what to build, and then you're building it or upgrading it. So it's easier on the hands, as well as it helps with mental activity. And again, you get to tell your children and your grandchildren you built about 50,000 houses and a bank and markets and sawmills, and you just got all these things accomplished. They won't believe you, but it's still funny. So this is another game from bigfishgames.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It is free. Thanks for watching Gaming for Grandparents.